Okay, let's talk about knowing your worth because I've gotten quite a few compliments on the way I move recently. And I am the type of person, once I recognize that something doesn't work for me, whether it's a relationship, a job, I mean, those are the two most important things in your life. A friendship, like, I am the type of person to cut my losses and leave. I've become very efficient in my communication, and I will communicate abundantly clear what didn't work for me to the person, and then I will cut my loss and I will leave. So recently, several things happened, but all in all, I am looking for a different job. Still training, and I won't be working at necessarily the same spaces. Yeah, I met with this one gym who has been trying to hire me for over a year, and I was asking them kind of like what the situation was, what they needed from me, what I was willing to do, what I wasn't willing to do. And after I took some time to really think about the space and if it was for me, I realized, fuck no. And as soon as I realized that, I sent them a message. And it was really hard to do that because I don't like feeling like I've let someone down, and I also don't like feeling like I wasted people's time. I also don't like feeling like I wasted my own time. Like, nobody likes that. I went to meet with them this morning, and I had said, like, I just don't know if I'm good for this company, and I don't know if this company is good for me. Their pay cuts were whack as fuck. Like, I wasn't doing that. And they're very, like, Instagram oriented, which I find to be douchey. I'm not Instagram oriented in that sense. Like, I'm not going to be like a trainer influencer on Instagram, and I'm not going to try to be. That just isn't me. I've tried it a few different ways to see if there was like a way in which I could do it, and there's just not. Like, I don't like it. Met with them this morning because they were very pushy about continuing to try and make this work. And I was just like, hey. And it was at this point not the GM of that gym. It was like the overseer of like all of those gyms, because I think they're a franchise or something. I don't know what the fuck they is, but they got a couple locations. So the guy was already a douchebag when he walked up to me, which is fine. A lot of the gym dudes are, not gonna lie. And I immediately felt that he was trying to make me feel small and not important or unworthy or less valuable than the actual gym, which you can never make me feel like that, because gyms are a dime a dozen. I will find a place to work at and bring my clients to when the time is right, when the pay is right, and when I'm valued and appreciated. I met with him very briefly. I already planned on being like, I'm not gonna work here, but we kind of came to the conclusion very quickly that it wasn't gonna work. I was like, I'm not really a social media person. I'm not into Instagram. I see you guys are very serious about that. And he was like, well, I don't have an Instagram account. And I was like, okay, well, you also don't work here. And I've seen what you guys expect of your trainers, and that's not something I'm willing to do. And then he's like, well, what value do you bring? And I was like, well, I also have found that the cuts are a little unhinged. Like, I am not bringing in $5,000 to $10,000 to make 30% to 50% of that. If I have enough clientele to make 10K, I'm keeping the 10K. That is crazy. If I make $10,000 a month and then I owe them $5,000, that's fucking nutty. I will not be doing that. Why? Because I use the space? That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. I personally will not be doing that. And if you actually break down the numbers, I would have to work so many hours of my week. And I'm a fucking lady. My time is my time. I am not going to sell my soul to a job. I promise you. I am not selling my soul to a fucking job. I will have my siesta. I will have time off. They also wanted me to work on weekends. I said, I can't work on weekends. I know that's something y'all need. And he was like, all right, well, it sounds like you can't do anything that we want you to do. So bye. I was like, all right, it sounds like you're not willing to shift your rules to gain the trainer that you've been chasing after for a year. So there's that. I also recently exited a relationship, and there was a lot of emotional turbulence in that relationship that I addressed abundantly from the very start of the relationship. I communicated diligently, and the more grounded and stable I became, the more I realized that nothing was going to change. And I decided to exit. And when I cut my losses, I also had to find a new job and build a new life. And that, to me, is worth it. I am worth it. My wellness is worth it. My creating a space for what I do want, I know requires me to let go of that which I do not want. And I'm happy with that decision. I'm happy with all of my choices. And that is where I earn self-esteem and self-respect back from the times in my life where I couldn't trust myself, I couldn't advocate for myself, and I ended up in abusive situations, betrayals, and not treating myself well. Because I'm a leader, especially, I try to do this swiftly and with grace, and to trust God and trust the universe that I've always been sustained and I will always be sustained. And it's never failed me. I am putting this out there because I do feel like with this last eclipse, a lot of people's lives changed. A lot of people are getting laid off randomly, or getting a new job randomly, or being forced into creation of their passion. And it can be so scary, and it can look messy as fuck, but stay grounded, stay trusting, and treat yourself well. What are your non-negotiables? And go from there. Like, make your list of non-negotiables and don't accept anything less than that. Because I said no to this opportunity that isn't for me. So guess what is going to happen? The next opportunity is going to come, and it's going to match my non-negotiables, and I'm going to be appreciated, respected, abundant, healthy. I'm going to have more time for myself, and I'm going to have more money, and I'm going to have a space that is safe, and to bring my clients and create a safe space for them. And that is what I expect. And so that is what I will receive. So I love y'all. Stay strong. Do your skincare. Don't skip it because you're stressed. Try not to skip meals because you're stressed. I did a couple times this week, but I gotta feed these legs today. I'm feeding the legs today. I'm about to eat like a whole gallon of peanut butter. Fuck it. We got this. Things are beautiful. The day is beautiful. I rescued a kitty. Razzi. Come here. I want to show you to the internet. Hi. Okay, she doesn't like this very much, but hi. There's my munchkin. She's a big girl. She's 6. And I rescued her from the Broward Humane Society Center. I'm not sure. But that's my little munchkin, and she is a lover. She's a lover. She likes to be pet. She scratched me on my neck yesterday because I wasn't petting her enough, and she wanted my attention, and she can't help it. But yeah, love on yourself, love on your loved ones. Like, everything that's happened over the last week for me has shown me how amazing my support system is, and that I am not alone in this world. My brother, my other loved ones have really like stepped up for me and shown me like when I demand the respect that I deserve for an extended period of time, and I respect myself and I treat other people with respect, they will always have your back. They will always have your back. And when people start to disrespect you, you won't have to lift a fucking finger. And that's what I like. Because I can protect myself, but I don't have to anymore. I'm safe. My heart can be open. And the men that surround me will always have me. I was called the nastiest fucking names this week. I'm gonna make another video on that. There is so much tea on my life right now, and I absolutely refuse to stay quiet about it because guess what? I was put on this fucking planet to speak my truth, and guess what? I'm gonna do it regardless. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So stay tuned for the tea. Me and Razzi will be here. Her name is Razzi because, well, that's her name. That's her name. I adopted her as Razzi. She's Razzi. Her nickname is Riz. Yeah, Razzi Riz Michelle. All right, bye.